So, hi everyone. Thank you for joining. Thanks to everyone who's joined. So we have Temi with us. Temi, I'll let you kind of do a little bit of an intro, introduce yourself a little bit. Say,
Intros are hard for me. I do so much.
I know, I know you do a ton. Okay, so can you just talk like a brief Cliff's Notes of like all the things that you're into and that you do?
Okay, so my name is Temi Shobawale, and I'm a multifaceted entrepreneur, I would say so. Uh, I'm a makeup artist by trade. I've been in the beauty industry for 10 years, and I'm also a wellness advocate, and I'm the founder of Her Day. So I put together wellness, sacred, intimate wellness events together for women in more like experiences than events, to be honest, in different cities in North America, soon global once COVID wraps up. And I'm also the CEO of Essentials by Temi, which is my luxury vegan skincare brand. I think that's about it for short.
Yeah, yay. So I've always been, I know like you and I have kind of known each other and been into like what the other is doing for a little while. So I've always been very just like fascinated and admired just your approach to wellness and all of the kind of all the things that you're able to pull in a very holistic way, just about overall wellness, but also skincare is a big piece of what you do. So we'll get into a little bit of just everything as we go along. But first of all, how are you? So the conversation is about wellness. So the first question I'll just ask is, how are you doing?
I'm good. Like, as everyone else, we're kind of all going through waves of emotions, but I've been finding that the secret to my wellness balance right now is being in nature. So I actually feel really, really good today because I pretty much went for like a hike yesterday with my
It's
friend.
so nice out today.
It
Yeah,
was like it
yesterday.
was hot yesterday too, so the sun was beaming down on us. But it was just
Oh, that's
amazing. We sat down
awesome.
at the river. I put together questions for us, just kind of like get an idea of what our summer is gonna be like post COVID or during COVID, just to kind of keep people inspired. And that helps me be well, help other be well, and
Yeah.
I'm well as well too. So yeah, I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Okay. I am okay. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been spending as much time in nature as you probably have. But I wanna, you know what, now that it's like nice out and it's so like the outdoors is so inviting right now, I think I might actually try. And I think, yeah, a lot of people are just in that space of like figuring out how can we make the best of just the situation right now and everything that's going on and the craziness that's happening in the world. So how have you been just, reorganizing, restructuring, just like thinking about life now that everything has changed so drastically?
In a sense, like how am I pivoting?
Yeah, basically.
I don't know. I don't know. I think like, when you're a natural born hustler and a natural born leader, it just comes to you.
Hmm.
I feel like there's so many points in life that's kind of prepared me for stuff like this. So I'm kind of more equipped than most people would be.
Hmm.
Um, I've just been rolling through it and I've been spending more time just like listening to my emotions because a lot of things is coming up for everyone during this time because you're forced to be home. And, in my case, I live alone. So it's like I'm forced to be by myself. So whatever shadow work that needs to be done,
Hmm.
we're working through it. Um, so I've just been really taking things one step at a time. I've been busy, oddly. When
Yeah,
this all first started, I
same
had time to
here.
rest and it was amazing. I was like, ooh, 2 weeks of sleep, catching up.
Yeah.
Jesus knew I needed this. But then afterwards, I started to get bored because I'm such a workaholic. So I'm just like, what do
Hmm.
I do now? And then that's when I kind of like launched certain things, and
Hmm.
I started doing lives as well too, to kind of pre-launch my future podcast. And
And
I
YouTube, you have a new
in my
YouTube
YouTube
page.
channel, so I was like, I've had a lot of time to really get a lot of things that I've been not been able to do for years.
Right.
At least get it started, just to kind of like first step of like
Yeah.
manifestation, get it done.
Oh, yeah. And are you finding like your routines have changed a whole lot, like just from things that you would be doing normally and like now maybe things are different?
Definitely. My routine definitely has changed because I have had more time. I have more time.
Mm.
Instead of running from A to B to do this, to do that makeup gig and like have to get orders done and then
Yeah.
have to do like it's like I'm home and I'm just like, okay, I can set up a little routine. I start my morning
Yeah.
off, I do like a lime shot, I've been doing like cleanses this entire time. My skin is finally getting back to normal because I did a
Oh,
parasite cleanse.
amazing.
I did a juice cleanse, and I'm just like, okay, I have this whole goal of getting to clear skin by 2020, by
Hmm.
the end of 2020. So I'm just like, okay, all right, wake up in the morning, do yoga, have your little shots and like your vitamins, and then get to work. Like some days I just sit down and watch YouTube videos, and some days I do work all day to like the next day, don't sleep. And it's just you have to create what routine works for you, and there's no set schedule as long as you just find a balance that works for you personally. The key.
Yeah. And are you finding like sticking with those routines or even creating new ones is like making you or giving you a sense of normalcy right now in like all of the craziness? Because I feel like balance, and I'll say for me personally, like balance has been a big thing, has been a big like question in my mind. Like I constantly feel like I'm like, I don't know if this is a good analogy, but like I feel like I'm limping kind of through life right now. Like something just feels off balance a little bit. So how is like sticking with your routines and doing your like wellness practice that you would usually do, like helping you keep that balance?
I feel like the concept of balance for entrepreneurs and people who are go-getters is sometimes a fairy tale for us. Like, it's just you're constantly trying to, it's like trying to reach perfection. Like you're trying to reach perfection, but like in
Oh yeah.
reality, what is perfection? um that's how I feel about balance. It's just that's how like you have to create your own balance. I like to design my own balance, design my own calm. So in that way it's normal to me. It may not seem normal to other people because other people's workload and what they can take on, especially during this time, is different from one
Yeah.
another. And again, I was like, I've been through so much and prepared myself for this kind of time. Like I didn't see this coming, but also I kind of like was equipped with the way I've kind of trained my mind and like just to not freak out, let your emotions be, feel it out, and
Yeah.
just work with what you have one day at a time. Having a good support system is really important as well too.
Mhm.
Because then I'm a realist, so I'm the one that my friends come to when they need a snap into shit,
Yeah.
like advice. So like it's good to be able to have friends that can do that for you as well too. So whenever I'm just like getting lazy or like discouraged a little bit, they're like there to like push me and like, no, this is not like you. Snap out of it. You're gonna feel better in a few days. Like maybe try doing meditation, do that, do this. So normalcy, I don't know. I don't think life is ever gonna return to normal.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to prepare myself for the new normal or whatever comes
Oh yeah.
next.
For sure. And hey, I just want to take a second and say hi to everyone who's like joined in the last few minutes. I see Black Women in Motion, and everyone else who's joined the village. Asato, hey everyone. So yeah, just talking about, I've been also thinking about mindfulness. And just thinking about like because I have so much time on my hands, like being present is something that I feel like I have more room to do, or I've been giving myself like more
You realize it's a
permission.
privilege. It's
Yeah,
a privilege,
exactly. It's like
right?
now I can be mindful and now I can afford to like spend this time just feeling myself out, and kind of going through the motions of what's happening right now. So what would you, if you could give just kind of like a tip or a couple of tips for people who are kind of struggling with getting themselves into that mindful space, or even permitting themselves to kind of just um, go through the motions of this moment, like how would you suggest they do that, or what might help?
The simple thing that I feel like it's easy for people if you're new to mindfulness and you're trying to like grow more, if you're already not doing so, journaling. Journaling is important.
Mm,
If you already are doing so, this may be new to people, this may not be new to people, but one thing you can start with is naming 5 things a day that you're grateful for.
mm,
I feel like during a time like this, the best way to cope is to like remember, what am I grateful for?
mm-hmm.
'Cause there's a lot to be grateful for. I have a roof over my head.
Oh yeah.
I have food in my fridge. There's people in the world who don't even have a village. Like, look at Nigeria, for instance. Like, they don't get stimulus checks or anything to hold them
Yeah.
down during this time. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's struggling. Like, their
Oh yeah.
struggle is a different struggle than our struggle out here. So, just remember to be grateful. Like, try to be grateful. Find something to be grateful for every single day. You woke up this morning, you're breathing, you're healthy
Mm.
during a time where health is such a privilege and it's golden.
Oh yeah.
So, start by doing that, doing a little bit of journaling and writing down
Mm-hmm.
things which are grateful for. That would be amazing. And then you can then move into like meditation if that's your cup of tea, which should be everyone's cup of tea because it's amazing.
Yeah, and I want to come back to the meditation piece too, but I think also one of the things that a lot of people are feeling right now is this idea of like productivity porn, and it's like, oh, now everyone's working from home and we have so much more time on our hands, and for a lot of people, unfortunately, are now their job situation is different. They've been either laid off or things are looking very different for them. So it's like, you now have all this time on your hands. Why haven't you started a business? Why haven't you started that YouTube page? Why don't you do that work hustle that you've been contemplating for years? So it's like, are you seeing that, like that pressure
I
to
see
just
that a lot, and even I feel that pressure sometimes. But then again, that's why I was trying to keep people, like, reminding them that what I am capable of doing is not what the next person's capable of doing.
Absolutely.
If you're gonna try and do what I'm gonna do and you don't have the kind of mindset that I have, it's hard to do that. You're gonna get burnt out really quickly. I get burnt out. I'm not perfect, and we're so used to being on social media and everyone posting such great. We always post the great things, never the negative, never the part where it's like, girl, I haven't slept in a month.
Yeah.
In quarantine, I'm not sleeping. We're not talking about the part where it's like, maybe this is a good time to find a therapist and like do some work. Like I don't understand the concept of like, you have to be productive. No, please rest. Like, I'm taking as much time to rest as possible. And if people follow me in my stories, like, that's where I really engage mostly with like my followers and friends. And I'm always posting things to remind people, like, rest. Like, just because everyone else is doing something doesn't mean it's not a rat race. Take this time to rest, because the people who are actually resting this time and planning will probably get more further than people who are trying to like be productive right now that might burn out before life returns to normal, right? So I don't really agree with that mindset of you have to be productive right now. Just create a plan. It doesn't take away from you to create a plan.
And letting rest be a part of that plan, right? Because I realized something. So I was in my last session with my therapist, and we were just talking about some of my like work, like I guess concerns that I've been having at work and stuff. And so we were talking about just organizing and getting organized, and like organizing all of the things that you have going on, especially during a time like this. And she was like, where is your, like, I don't see any rest in this schedule. Like, there's no, like, I had planned a schedule from 9 a.m. to 10 o'clock at night, and there wasn't 5 minutes in there for me to just like sit back and do something else that wasn't like constant activity. So I think, being intentional and planning in that rest too is a big piece of that. So is that kind of how you approach it, and not waiting till you're burned out?
Yeah, like, I'm a planner. I plan everything in my life out. Like, I plan everything. If I could plan how I breathe, I would probably do it. But I'm a planner to the T. So like, I have days where I'm just like, I'm resting today. And like, there was like a few weeks and I was like talking, and when I feel down, I like to connect with everyone else. Cause like, it kind of reminds you to like hit up other people, and it's like, okay, you're not in this alone. Like, we're all going through this. I'll have days, like I had weeks where I was just like really just like not feeling it. Like, I don't want to do anything. And then for me, I beat myself up so much more because I'm such a go-getter and like I'm always busy. So whenever I'm not busy, it's like, and it stresses me out because I'm not busy.
Right.
So I had to kind of pull myself back and sit down and have a conversation with myself. And it's, why is it that you can't be comfortable with not being busy? Like, this is not healthy. So at that point is when I realized, when I do rest, I feel better. When I take naps, I feel better. Like, do the things that make you feel better so you can do better things. Like, it betters you. So I plan it. I kind of squeeze it in there here and there. And a good friend of mine helped me create my mindset to be able to now make like to-do lists. Because like, I'm the kind of person who like, I'll make occasional to-do lists, but like, I don't do it every day. So I've been getting the habit of doing to-do lists every day. And not beating myself up if I don't get everything done on the list. But it's just, the satisfaction of like crossing things off your list is just amazing.
And I'm a to-do list person as well. And like, sometimes, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'll cheat and I'll put something on my to-do list after I've done it. Cause at the end, cause that was still a thing that I did, even if it wasn't on the list before I did it, but it's still a thing that I did. And just like, I feel like congratulating ourselves for what we have been able to achieve during these insane times, like even just like being alive and being okay and being healthy right now, I think is like a big thing that people just aren't, like, we're so focused on surviving this moment that we're not taking a step back to be like, I am, like, I'm doing okay. You know, I'm doing okay right now, and I'm not doing too badly. But I think you're also a big proponent, and this is part of, you know, one of the things that you do in group wellness. So can you talk a bit? I have a few questions, especially about this moment that we're in, but some of the benefits of group wellness and just being able to be mindful and meditate or do whatever the practice is with a group of other people.
I feel like the concept of group wellness, like when I first started Her Day, for instance, like I started off in like in the beauty side of it. I was like, oh, you know, people always ask me about makeup. Let me start doing master classes and bring all the women that I know together into like one space. I know so many different people from different backgrounds. It would be a great way to connect people. Because I always find like, you know, being a makeup artist, it's kind of like sitting in the braider's chair or like the hairstylist chair. You open up, like
Yeah.
you'll talk, you chit chat,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
real. And I started realizing a recurrent kind of topic with
Mm.
everyone that I would talk to. And I was like, I mean, low key, we're all in this together. Like, it's so crazy how everyone's going through similar things, but we don't realize that we're all in it together. And I would sit down and think of the concept being a Nigerian woman, like being an African woman, you have the concept of like it takes a village. Like sisterhood, we're kind of like grown on that whole sisterhood vibe, and like your auntie, that's your second mom, and da 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 da, and all this, you know. So I wanted to create like a circle, not like like women circles isn't something that's new, but I
Right.
just wanted to create my own feel to it. I wanted to create a little twist to it. Then I created, and that made me come up with the concept of the wellness circles. I wanted to keep it intimate as well too, because I feel that people, women in general, we open up more when we're in intimate spaces. And all everyone needs is a little bit of encouragement. That's why I'm someone who's such an open book. Even when I talk to new people or make new friends, I'm an open book, because when you speak things out loud, it may be something that someone has been fighting for years to not open up about, and like it's eating them up inside, and like that's probably their trigger, you know, issue.
Right.
But when they see you speak about it so openly, it inspires them to share, like, you know, speak more about it, because the more you speak about it, I don't know how that quote goes, but there's a quote that says, a problem shared.
Yeah, it's
It's
a
like,
problem
it's
solved
a
or
problem
half
half solved.
solved. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's always been my concept around like group mindfulness stuff and like group. It's just connect with one another. We're human beings. Like the
Yeah.
whole point is we need to interact with one another as human beings are supposed to.
Oh, yeah. And so,
So,
yeah,
no, go.
sorry, go ahead.
So when you share things and you're able to be in a space together where the whole point is healing, you're able to push each other more. Like our job here is to heal. We're all here to heal. So let's keep pushing each other and encouraging each other to do just that.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, like now you can imagine so much has shifted right now in the world that we are. And you talked about just how important and how special it is, especially in a time like this, to have a support system. So how do you, or how would you kind of suggest that people still facilitate or create those spaces, you know, even right now when we can't physically be around the people we might want to be around?
Mm-hmm. For instance, again, it goes back to like you have Zoom, you have FaceTime, you have WhatsApp. Like I feel like the video calling, and like I do it occasionally where I call all my friends. I've even been connected with like old friends like from middle school, and we're doing like three-way video calls. And we're like, wow, we haven't done this since like middle school and high school. And like some of them are moms, and we get to really just talk about things and just, you know, catch up. And I feel for my friends who are moms during this time, because it's tough. Like I'm like, if it's tough for me, I can imagine what it's like
Oh, yeah.
to be having like a toddler running around, or two kids running around, and you don't have a peace of mind. So it's just checking in with one another. The best thing you can do in regards of like group wellness right now is checking in with one another, making time, scheduling time to kind of like have a group conversation. Everyone catch up. Everyone talks about what's up in each other's lives and give advice, or like that's pretty much the most we can do right now. So we're very lucky and grateful, again, grateful to have technology, because there are people who doesn't have access to technology.
Oh, yeah.
So we're grateful to have that. Use it for good reasons. Connect with your loved ones, which a lot of people are already doing. But even if just like catching up and talking all the time, maybe do exercises. So yesterday, for instance, because it's been me and my friend, I haven't seen my best friend in like, I went to Europe in January, so I haven't seen her since January. I haven't left my house to be social with anyone until just like this past week.
Mm.
And like I've been going on park dates with like one friend, and then yesterday it was like a group of six.
Mm-hmm.
I grabbed my best friend and her two sisters, and they brought their best friends, and I was like, let's go on a nature adventure. Like,
Mm-hmm.
let's sit down and let's just like I brought questions, which is similar to what we're gonna do after this. But I made a list of questions and we sat down and I just like, to get them thinking more, to open up their mind and get their mind off of get whatever's on your chest off as well too.
Mm-hmm.
It's really helpful. And I don't think people really think about that when they
Yeah.
have like group of friends. Like personal growth is not just only for you. You can do
Mm-hmm.
that. You can spread that to your friends and your loved ones.
Yeah. Nice. And so, yeah, just, I kind of want to pivot a little bit because skincare is also a big piece. And we just mentioned that a little bit. Like, skincare is a small piece, but an important piece of, just holistic wellness. And I feel like for me, so I'll just say, over the last couple of months or the last few months that we've been indoors, I feel like I've kind of just been OD with like my skincare experimentation because I feel like I can, right? Like whatever, like I'll get the uglies and I can deal with it at home. And I like if I have a bad reaction to something, like no one has to see me. So it's been for me, it's been like a lot of experimenting. But how have you been? Like, has your routine changed in any kind of way? Like, what does that look like for you over the past couple of
I honestly, I only use my products, but I'm the kind of, so one thing I've like sworn since the past year is I tried to stop being a product junkie. Like
Mm.
I'm such a minimalist and I've tried to become so with like makeup and like my skincare routine. If you look at my makeup kit, everything. You look at my personal makeup kit,
Mm-hmm.
probably like I use like 5 items in my face. So
Wow.
I'm just like I try to be a minimalist in the way that I can. For my skincare routine, cleanser I find has been an issue for me because especially when the season is changing,
Mm.
I'm still as much as I'm an expert, I'm still confused in the sense of like what do I need to use now? How's
Mm.
my skin gonna react to it? And that's why I was like, people need to listen to their skin. Your skin's gonna give you what it wants. It's gonna tell you what it needs and what it wants.
Right.
And that pushed me to I was breaking out and I didn't know if it was stress. I was like, am I stressed? And I just don't know I'm stressed.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
This whole COVID thing and being home is so weird.
Right.
And you're
Your
inside all
skin
the
responds
time.
to that stuff,
Your
right?
skin responds to that. Like I have a humidifier. I also have a dehumidifier. And you're indoor every day and your skin's
Mm.
reacting in so many ways, it doesn't know what's going on. You're not getting vitamin D every day. Like we need sun. I have melanin. I need sun for my
Mm.
skin to grow and just like glow and like,
Mm.
enjoy itself. So I really sat down and I was like, okay, let me rearrange my skincare routine and try new things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my go-to was like I was trying different masks. So I use a different type of mask during winter. Now that the season is changing to spring, summer, I'm trying different type of masks, like different type of DIY stuff. And I have like my calm and soothing mask was a really good one. I even forgot about that. I was like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
I
So
did
the
it the
mask
other
that
day.
you're
And I was
talking about
like,
is the one that we have posted on
posted.
our page. We just because we got that from you, like I think it was last year almost.
It's
Or it's been
last year now.
many
Wow.
months now. And hi everyone who's just joined. Hey Emily, hey Christine.
So
Yeah.
I did that mask and the way it calmed my skin, I was like, wow, I didn't know why I didn't even think of this to begin with because
Mm-hmm.
I was breaking out all over here and I was like so annoyed. And then I tried to like remind myself that first of all, you need to be patient with your skin because you freaking out is not going to help anything.
Right.
So I keep my skincare routine very simple. I've been trying more oil cleanser. Another thing I've been trying is more using salt. There's an actress
Ooh.
from Toronto who actually put me onto this because I'm not gonna act like it's my idea. Her name is Zara Bethenham. She's in the Madam CJ Walker.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
here, so she's from Toronto, and she actually did a live at the beginning of COVID sharing her skincare routine. I was like,
Mm.
you know what? I always put it in like scrubs, but I never thought about using dead sea salt. I use dead sea salt. She uses other salt, but
Mm-hmm.
I was like dead sea salt would probably be the perfect one to use because it softens your skin and it calms your skin down.
Hmm.
So I've been using dead sea salt in like switching it with like oil cleanser that I make and dead sea salt
Mm-hmm.
depending on what my skin wants. And I use a toner. I've been kind of like trying new serums, like treatment serums, because
Nice.
I've been kind of like just but like
Yeah.
my facial oil and mist are like my two staple products in my skincare routine. So I've
Mm.
been really just trying to keep a balance and stop breaking out. And we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, I love that you've been minimalist because I feel like I said, I feel like this has just been like experimentation central. Like, what can I order from Sephora this week that I've never
Right.
tried before and just like
Mhm.
put all these chemicals on my face? But
I just dropped so much money on K beauty because I'm obsessed with like Korean beauty, and I'm just like, you know what? I have my skincare products, but let me just try these
yes,
products real
it's
quick.
so tempting too. Yeah. So okay, so we are gonna do, and I know we talked about this a bit, a quick like rapid fire round. So I have a list of ingredients, natural ingredients that anyone could find at home that you probably have like sitting on a shelf somewhere, and I want to kind of go through a couple of them with you. And just get your opinion on like, is this good for your skin, bad for your skin, and maybe what you could do with it. So the first one I'll start with, and I think this one was it was a weird one for me because I'd never heard about this, but tea or green tea, like just actual tea bags. Is
Tea
that a
bags is
thing?
amazing. You can use if you have actual tea bags, you can steep it and then pop it in a freezer and put it over your eyes, or you can use it hot as well too. It helps with like
Hmm.
dark circles and puffiness around your eyes. I actually tried something the other day because I'm such a herbalist in training. I have so much herbs. Like I got a
I
whole
love that.
COVID. COVID, I had time. I bought a label maker and mason jars. I reorganized
Oh,
every
I
goddamn
love
thing.
that. That's
I'm proud of
amazing.
myself. But the other day I actually experimented and like grinded actual tea leaves and like mix it in with the
Mm.
mask and put it on my face.
Hmm.
So you can try that as well too, because when you actually use a tea leaf, it's like soft enough. Because if it's warm, it's soaked in with any kind of
Right.
liquid. It can also double as like an exfoliator when
Oh.
you rinsing it off. So yeah, green tea is really good for your skin.
Okay.
It's brightening. It brightens your skin. It suits your skin. Yeah, green tea is amazing. It
Yeah.
helps with like
Well,
puffiness.
yeah.
So
Okay, well, lesson learned. Green tea. Okay, next one is aloe vera.
aloe vera. I mean,
I feel
I
like
have
that's a fave. That's
that's the thing. I have the plant. I'm actually a weird person. Like when my aloe vera plant grows so big, because I get the organic ones, they get
you have
so
a
limpy.
real, you have an actual aloe
I
vera
have to get a
plant.
new one because what I do is I'm cutting it up because it gets too limpy, and I'm just like, how do you keep it up? I
I
want it to look
love this.
good. I want the aesthetics of Bero.
That is
But then
amazing.
it grows and it gets heavy.
Hmm.
So I cut it up and like I'll put it in the fridge or like let it drain out. Like the best way,
Hmm.
I'll probably make a video soon on how to drain aloe vera gel out of like the actual plant. The easiest way is just like
Yeah.
cutting the bottom, leaving it in a bowl, like standing up, a bowl that where it can stand up, and just leave it like 45 minutes. It'll drain out itself.
Oh wow.
But I use the juice for so many different things. You can use it for your hair. It helps the
Hmm.
hair growth if you mix it in with oils.
Hmm.
Amazing hair,
Wow.
hair growth. I actually use aloe vera juice as well too. I take it. It's really good for your like your skin and your health. Like
Hmm.
remember at the beginning I was saying I do these lime shots. So in the lime
Yeah.
shots, I mix in aloe vera, I mix in apple cider vinegar,
Yeah.
anything that has great benefits for like my immune system and also my skin.
Hmm.
So
And do you apply it just like on its own? Like if you're putting it
like
in your hair
for
or
my
on
skin,
yeah.
like for my hair I mix it in with oils. For my skin I can like mix it in with a mask or like honey and create a
Hmm.
mask out of it, or you could use it alone too, but I don't like how it dries off and gets flaky.
Mm.
That's the thing with it with some people, like, but it's the best thing if you ever get sunburnt, get you a nice aloe vera plant and just cut it open and just rub it
Oh,
all over
wow.
you. It's very soothing.
I love that. Okay, next one. And this one gets, I feel like kind of a bad rap sometimes, but witch hazel.
Witch hazel, you know what, I'm not a fan of witch hazel, so
Okay, I
I'm
think
not a
we're
big
on,
fan of
yeah.
it. It's never, I never really see any difference in using it. I feel like it's one of those product where it's a hit or miss for people.
Mm,
I'd rather just use a rose water than use witch hazel.
right. Yeah, and I've heard that it's also like super drying, I think, like for your skin. Like it's not great for your skin's
Like
hydration.
when you look at I forgot the pH balance of it. Like it doesn't really do anything in regards to
Mm,
balancing your skin. So I feel like it always confuses me when people use it as toners. I'm
mm.
just like, does it really
Yeah,
balance your skin though? So
yeah. Okay, so no witch hazel. Okay, next one is turmeric.
yes, yes. I
This
use it as a spice. I use it as a
Yeah,
mask.
because
I use it
I
as
have some in my
everything.
kitchen right now that I'm gonna use to cook, but I don't know if I want to put it on my face.
I've been using it in smoothie too.
Oh,
Yeah. I put turmeric is amazing, especially during this time with like something with COVID out here.
Yeah,
Turmeric is
I
a
always hear that, but I can't figure out what to do with it other than like put it.
so the easiest thing you can do is turmeric, yogurt, Greek yogurt, plain Greek
Hmm.
yogurt, with turmeric, and you can put a little bit of honey. Amazing face mask.
Oh wow.
You can
Okay.
even use it as a hair mask.
As what?
A hair mask.
Oh.
The
Oh,
turmeric is
I love
really
that.
good for your skin because it helps with like dark spots and things of that sort as well too.
Yeah. Oh, see, we had a comment from top for smoothies. Yeah. See. Okay.
Yeah, you
So
can
you're
make it a smoothie. Like turmeric is so good for you.
wow.
It's
I
so good for
never
you.
heard of that. Okay. Next one, and I see, and I want to know this personally because this one has had some good PR for many years, and I want to know the truth about this. Lemon, just raw lemon, actual lemon, right on directly on your skin.
It's an astringent. Like it's very it's like an antibacterial kind of thing as well too. You can use lemon as a toner.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like for certain skin type it might be a little too harsh.
Mm.
Like I don't use it all the time, but like again, like when my skin was like acting up, I was
Mm-hmm.
doing all the DIYs I could do at home because I have
Mm.
time as well. So one of the things that I did after like a few days ago when my breakout was starting to clear up is I just like I was making a respiratory steam and I was cutting up lemon in it. So the rest of the lemon, I squeezed it out already. I just like, use the actual lemon on my face. It's like a little
Mm-hmm.
scrub. I left it on for a minute, went to go rinse it off, and then did my skincare routine. It has great benefits, but it can also be drying if you have dry skin.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that's better for people with combination oily skin than dry skin.
Okay. Okay. And next one is, and I love this one, oats.
Oh, love it. You already know it's a part of the recipe for the face mask.
Mm-hmm.
Oats is so amazing. If you have eczema, psoriasis, dry skin, like any skin
Mm.
irritations, oats is your go-to. If you want to
Mm.
get creative too, you can also add aloe vera into it, into a little
Mm.
mix of oat and aloe vera and honey, and just like put that on your skin. Again, because oat is very soft, and after you mix it with something, it's like a gentle exfoliator. You can
Mm.
use it as a mask and then also use an exfoliator afterwards.
Okay.
So oats is very, very calming for your skin. Like I feel like parents used to do that for kids when kids have diaper rashes or they have
Yeah.
eczema or chicken pox. You put them in a bath with oats,
Yeah, I've heard
and
it's been used for
it's super
kids.
calming.
That's awesome. Okay. Last one, another fave, honey.
Honey, honey is an antibacterial ingredient, which is what it's. Honey is really powerful.
Mm.
It does so many things for you. It can help you clear up your skin. It gives you a radiant glow like never
Mm.
before. If you want to glow, like honestly, I used to. This is one thing I used to give like models when I'm doing fashion week and I'm doing makeup, and like I know I'm there all week, and I know I'm gonna see certain models over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
and like they don't have like dry skin, their skin is like flaky.
Mm-hmm.
I Any model can tell you if they sit in my chair. Any of my client, you're leaving with at least a DIY tip.
You're leaving with
So
some honey.
I'm over here like skincare. Like I know I'm a makeup artist, but also, girl, can you just make sure you do a honey mask for
Mm.
me before you come back tomorrow?
Mm.
And you're going to see the difference. Wash your face and use honey, and the glow, it softens your skin, it
Mm.
hydrates your skin. It's amazing. It's a great ingredient.
Right. Yeah. And I love that too because you have, like, you're a makeup artist, but you also have all of this, like, background knowledge as to what goes on underneath the makeup, which I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of people tend to forgo, especially when, like, you're doing everything really fast or you're in an industry like fashion where, you don't necessarily have as much time to pay close attention to those things. So, yeah, skincare underneath makeup is also a big thing, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm glad that skincare is now becoming something popular. It's
Yeah.
starting to trend, and I'm just happy that people are educating themselves
Hmm.
because I had to learn the hard way, and that's what kind of led me to be able to educate people about skincare. Because
Right.
I feel like with people where I get a lot of free products, I'll try Ole Henriksen and like Dr. Brand and all this stuff all at once, and all these things have chemicals in it. So,
Yeah.
and no one ever taught me that you're not supposed to use all the things at once. And also,
That's
it takes
me,
about three
me
months
right now.
it takes about 3 months where you see changes. So my skin was going crazy. I was breaking out like crazy. I was in school at the time too and working full time and also
Yeah.
part time. So I was just under so much stress and like the breakouts. That's where the hormonal acne kind of like sparked up for me.
Right.
And when you don't know any better, people touch your face, pimples, and that's how that leads to dark spots. And I'm like, well, I can't reverse it now. The only way you can
Yeah.
reverse it, also to tell you guys, if any brand tells you that their products work for dark spots, if it doesn't have vitamin C in it, it's okay.
Like, no, No.
And you need to know which percentage of vitamin C is in the product. It needs to
Is
be like
that right?
purely
Okay, so if it
multivitamin.
doesn't have vitamin C in it, it's not.
Chances are probably not. And you also need to like balance it. Like I'm learning so much more about skin as well too, which is another reason I created my YouTube channel because I wanted to kind of share my journey with my skincare products and my skincare journey ongoing. You need to like vitamin E and also vitamin C in order for the vitamin C to really kick up and really do what
Huh.
it's supposed to do. Um, I'm sure there's other ingredients and other acids and stuff that I don't know about yet that probably helps with dark spots, but you
Mm-hmm.
know, the popular one is vitamin C that everyone's using nowadays. And
Mm-hmm.
also have more oranges. Oranges is pure vitamin C. Like it's
Mm.
really that simple. Whatever you put inside of you comes out. We have to remember that. And that's why I've been trying to change my diet to more of a plant-based diet.
Mm.
Because what you eat matters. It shows
Right.
in your skin. Your skin is your biggest organ. So it's gonna
Yeah.
show whatever's going on inside.
Right. And that's, yeah, that's what I wanted to kind of just quickly talk about too, is like what you eat and how much that impacts like what your skin looks like and how healthy your skin is. So what are a few things to stay away from generally? I know everyone is different, but one thing
Mhm.
that's come up time and time again, like for me, for my journey, has been dairy. And I don't like, my body just doesn't process dairy well. So I'm like, I'm, yeah. So what else like are
I am
things like
lactose
that?
intolerant and like I know how
Same.
dairy reacts in my skin, but I be playing myself, especially during summer. I'm like, I want that
Listen,
ice cream though. I want that ice
right?
cream.
Or that milkshake.
So
Like,
I'm gonna just take the L because I'm gonna get a rash. And it's weird. Like I know exactly where I'm gonna get my eczema rashes, like where it pops up when it's
mhm.
dairy related. That's how well I
Wow.
know my skin and I know my body and how it reacts to my diet.
Yeah.
So dairy is one thing to definitely stay away from.
Hmm.
Another is obviously red meat, which I have been breaking a lot since the past year because I started cooking a lot more Nigerian meals. And I'm just like, damn, I don't know if I can eat Nigerian meals without my goat meat.
Listen, like what else am I supposed to eat?
Sometimes I want a little bit of pomo. Come on.
Right? Like, or some shaki or something. Like, what am I supposed to eat?
Right? I was like, I want to eat clean, but I also want to eat food from back home, and like it's so hard to try and make it healthy. It don't
Right.
taste the same. So, I've been just that's why I just say I'm trying to be mostly plant based. Like when I wake up nowadays, I like have like a full bowl of like berries, or like I have like cantaloupe or um honeydew or pineapples cut up. I like literally like at least start your day off with like full like fruits. And as the day goes by, if I'm not really hungry, like when I was doing a juice cleanse, it really showed me a lot of how everyone should do a juice cleanse or like some sort of like a water fast with like fruits. It'll show you how much fruits and like veggies can actually fill you up. Because I feel like
Hmm.
our mindset when you're a carnivore, like when you're a carnivore and you're used to like eating meat, eating carbs, all
Yeah.
this, when you really switch over and give fruits and veggies a chance, you see how much it really is filling. Like I'll be so full
Mm.
that I don't want to eat something at a time. And I'm just like, okay, I'll just make a smoothie or something. And I'm just like,
Okay,
I don't think
you
I'm
are
sure.
blowing me right now because when I hear fruit cleanse or when I hear like juice cleanse or whatever, I'm thinking like I'm starving all day. Like that's what comes.
Right?
That's
See,
immediately what the image is.
that's also low key parasites in us trying to like convince us like, no, you hungry. We need energy.
Right.
We need it.
Huh.
So it's also
That's
important. Everyone should really look into getting parasite cleanses as well because we all got parasites in us. Like it's a really nasty topic. I know people don't want to go into it, but it's real life.
hmm.
It's real life. Like you eat a meat, especially,
Hmm. You need a
we
better.
all know like what nutrients. And another thing, another mindset with meat for me that makes me really pull back from eating meat is I don't know where I heard this or who told me this. I feel like I've heard it so many times as well. Is why do we? It was holistic baddie. I did a live with her and Christina May. She was basically like, why would we keep eating dead? Like we're eating dead animals and we're expecting to get nutrients from it. And that really took me. I took it in and I was like, damn, why you put it like that, girl? Same.
Shame.
Same.
Shame.
So it's kind of like, you gotta put into perspective
Oh,
like
that's so
how
true.
long do I want to be living? First of all, I mean, it's time to start changing your diet.
Absolutely.
Like people always, I always tell my friends who are like health nuts and like they work out a lot as well too, and I'm just like, okay, you guys are working out a lot, but like also does your inside matches your outside? That's great. Like I'm thick. I don't know about going for jogs. I might do walks and I might do my yoga. I
Hmm.
might get to my little gym days eventually, but like
Hmm.
I want to take care of myself mentally and
Hmm.
like inside first. Like
Inside,
my
yeah.
business needs to be set.
Oh
Like
yeah.
deal with those parasites. Deals with things that are like affecting you in
Mm.
other ways. When you look up what parasites do to our body, like That's why you're always tired. That's why you get sick easily. Like it
Oh,
attacks
wow.
your immune system a lot because
Yeah.
they're taking away all the nutrients. Like imagine there are worms and parasites in your body that are that's what a parasite is. Like it needs a host. So
Hmm.
we're the host, and like all the food that we're getting, you thinking like you're eating all this healthy food and you're getting all these nutrients, but in reality, no, it's going straight to the parasites. So what's the point
Yeah.
of doing cleanses and going on diets if you're not really getting rid of what's taking away all the nutrients in your body?
Right.
So that
Okay.
was something that was big for me, and I was like, okay,
Hmm.
I
Okay.
gotta do this.
So looking into juice cleanses and parasite cleanses. Okay.
Mhm.
So just yeah, coming back to kind of mind stuff really quickly. What kinds of content are you consuming these days? Like, what are you watching? What are you reading? Because I feel like that's also having a big impact on like how people are feeling, and just how they're processing stuff right now. So, what are you
Mhm.
watching? What are you listening to?
I'm very into a lot of metaphysical type of things. So like the books that I'm reading right now, like I like to learn a lot about Eastern philosophy. And I've been kind of going back to like African spirituality as well too. So I've been doing more research and like
Mm.
I would just put it all together in a personal development kind of thing. Anything like related to personal development. Like it took me to like end of April to finally start using Netflix. Like I was about to start asking them for refunds. I was like, I haven't used Netflix for like months.
Mm.
Can I get a refund? Because like y'all know I haven't opened up the
Yeah.
app. Like I feel scammed. But
Mm.
anywho, I just sit on YouTube. I get lost. It's like, you get lost in a little
Yeah.
whirlpool of like information and knowledge. I've been kind of also consuming and learning more about growing your own crops and being like I'm so into like herbalism.
Mm.
So I'm trying to tap back into that because I mean, again, Nigerian. When you're Nigerian, you know this is already in you to begin
Hmm.
with because things like, for instance, when we were young, we drink agbo all the time. So I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, our parents were clearly onto something. I know Caribbeans also do stuff like that with like
Yeah.
Jamaican castor oil and stuff like that, drinking things like that because it helps with like cleansing your body. And I'm just like, so what exactly is in it? So I'm
Mm.
kind of learning about the difference about herbs, like herbs that are more bitter, are a bit more detoxifying. They purify your blood more. And then there are herbs out there that helps with like PMS and like so there's just so many of them, so much information out there, and I just want to keep learning and keep learning about those type of things. So that's mostly what I consume my time with, and occasionally I'll like binge watch like Nollywood films and
The
TV shows.
best.
I got a few
Yeah.
stuff that's new on Netflix and I'm about to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for vacation too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about it for as far as like body mind stuff that I have. So the next thing we were gonna talk about, oh, I'm just seeing the sauce comment. I wish someone would make a guidebook for this clear skin stuff. Yes, and I
I think
feel
you're
like
right.
because too the also when it comes to like clear skin, I feel like the guidance or like the wisdom on what to do and what's healthy and what to not do changes constantly. Like just using witch hazel as an example, I can remember like as recently as 5 years ago when witch hazel was all anyone would talk about, and when it
Mhm.
became like a thing to use it as a toner. So that's I think that's where a lot of people get confused. It's just like there's so much messaging about what to do and what not to do that's
But
constantly
that's the thing.
changing.
If you do more research, I find if you do more research, you have to kind of like find what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about what works for you. Like you just have to kind of like take the first step on your holistic journey.
Mm.
Like again, that sounds like I pace myself. Like everyone else is into different things. Like you're into like hitting the gym all the time and being buff. Cool, great. I would like to start with yoga. I'm more of a yoga because there are people who work out but aren't flexible.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But I'm like, I think I would rather be flexible during these times. I want to be flexible before I get into working out because maybe that might help my journey in the future with my fitness stuff a bit more. With me going into like, I went vegan. I went cold turkey vegan one time, and it lasted 5 months, and it felt amazing. Like my
Mm.
skin was always glowing, and people also freak out a lot because when you start eating healthy, you start to break out, and people can't pinpoint why they're breaking out, but that's really
Right.
your like releasing the toxins that's been
Yeah.
stuck in you all this time.
Mm.
And once you go through that phase, which is what I just went through with the whole parasite cleanse and the juice cleanse back to
Right.
back, my skin was on. I was like, what is going on? I got videos to make. What's going on? What is this? And I'm just like, okay,
I
all
love
right,
that.
give it 2 weeks to a month, and your skin's gonna be glowing like there's no tomorrow, which it already is. So just pinpoint how can you maybe start with like a day where you are meat free, or
Mm.
it's just like your plant based days, and like ease it up slowly. Like, don't try to like throw everything, like, because you're getting so much information from so much people, throw
Yeah.
it all and do it at once. Because a lot of times, just like the way relationships are, anything that starts too quickly and like fast probably won't last. So you're trying to
Okay.
make a lifestyle change, ease your way into it. Plan.
I love that. Ease your way into it. Okay, thank you. That was amazing. And that's all my questions. And I'll just, last comment. You need to check out, I feel like this is Ilere Mama. She's all about
Ooh.
holistic foods. Okay, we will check that out.
Ooh.
Thank you. And so just our last thing that we were going to do today was these affirmations. I'll let you talk about it, but you're going to kind of take over this last few minutes. And so can you just tell us a bit about what we're about to do? And then we'll go right into it.
All right. So a part of my Her Day workshops that I do, one of my great workshops that I love to do, I usually combine it with my wellness circle sometimes, is my signature affirmation workshop. And what that is basically, I'm a big person at affirmations, but I always try to remind people that affirmations they don't work if you don't put it in work. You gotta like say it out loud and like be in the present with affirmations, but you also have to put it into work. Like if your intention behind your affirmation isn't really strong, it's
Mm,
not really going to do anything. So you're just like speaking the air out and that's it.
right.
So with affirmations, I like to help people create. I find that when you're repeating affirmations from other people, it's harder to kind of let it stick to you and
Mm,
like keep it every day. So instead, I encourage people to create their own signature affirmations. So I kind of like it's pretty easy, but it's not because you really got to think a little bit. So you guys don't have to rush and do it right now, but like if you have a paper and pen to jot down, is this going to be saved?
yeah, this is going to be
Okay,
safe.
so it's going to be up for 24 hours, so you can come back and look at it again and kind of hear the affirmation part if you want to come back to do it. So it's 4 steps, 4 prompts that's going to help you create your affirmation. It doesn't have to be long, just something short and simple, and you know why, what it means for you. And I just want you guys to kind of like paint a picture in your head, like take a deep breath and try to just think of where you are, like how do you presently feel right now? How do you want to feel in about a few months from now? And with that mindset in your head of where you at right now and what your goal personally, like personal growth wise is, these are the 4 prompts. You'll complete the sentence for each. The first one is I am. So whatever you want to write after that, I am. For instance, for me, I am grateful. The second one is I accept. For instance, mine would be I accept the changes that the universe is going through right now.
Mm,
The third one is I release. What would I like to release right now? I would love to release any negative thoughts in my mind that are holding me back in any type of way that I'm not aware of. And the last one is I will. I will complete the tasks that I have in mind for the next few months. So that's personal for me. It could be different for everyone else. But another thing about affirmation that people should keep in mind is whenever you're writing affirmations, again, you want to be in the now. Like you have this now. Like I am rich. I am a millionaire. I'm successful.
mm-hmm.
I'm happy. Not I want to be happy or I
Right.
would like to be happy. It teaches you confidence too. Like it makes you more confident
Mm,
in what you say and how you speak to people, how you present yourself, because you're in the now, you're in the present.
mm,
And when you repeat affirmations, it's just like any other habit. About 21 days, if you do affirmations every day, that's why a lot of these journals are so popular and they sell out the 5 minute journal, the 2 minute journal. That
mm.
sounds like the first advice I gave was writing down, journaling and writing down at least a list of 5 things you're grateful for today
Mm-hmm.
daily. And it's a game changer.
Mm.
A game changer in
Wow.
being a better person and being happier and like having more of a clear mind.
Oh, I love that. And so just doing these like over a period of time, like you could even start, I guess, like every day,
Yeah.
and doing it over a period of time, you'll see.
I do other ones like this one. I love to do. I'm into like the whole metaphysical kind of like spiritual stuff. So I like the new moon because right now yesterday or today was a new moon in Gemini.
Mm,
So this is a great prompt that you can use for the new moon. It helps you set your intentions for
mm-hmm.
this month for like the next few months and so on and so forth. So I'd like to do stuff like this during a full moon because you know the energy is so much more. You know, God's it's the mindset. I feel like God's listening to me clearer when the moon is full.
Right.
The new moon.
I like
Yes,
that.
listen. God hears me. So,
I love it.
so yeah, you can do it on occasions. You don't have to feel like it's a homework that you have to do all the time. But I bet you, if you create your own affirmations, it will always be in the back of your head.
Mm. I
And
love
that's
that.
the point.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you, Temi. This was amazing. I feel like I learned so much, and like everyone also learned so much, but it's also given me a lot to think about just as far as like what I've been doing, how I've been approaching like certain things, like the whole skincare thing. I'm definitely gonna go and have a think about that, and just my approach to that. But thank you so much. And yeah, I hope we get to do
Thank
this again soon.
you.
This was so much fun.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed this. And you already know my whole thing is about sharing knowledge, so I'm happy to share knowledge. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. And I'm not here to shame everybody. I'm just here to kind of like just spark some. Let me give y'all something to think about real quick. I'm that person.
Yes, no, and we need that realness. Listen, because if other people are like me, just OD on Sephora right now, then you guys need to hear this.
Me and Sephora have a beef. I've had stuff in my cart for the past few months. I'm just coming back to it every time. I'm like, keep 5 things off the list. I'm like, I don't need that. Like I've been shopping all night today for like my makeup kit, and I literally was gonna buy new brushes because I'm like, you know, COVID and all that stuff. Let me get new brushes and whatnot. And I'm looking at my old brushes that are still like in good shape, and I'm like, let me go pull out my brushes before I go buy things I don't need.
Yep.
Like, girl, check yourself.
You always need that check. Well, thank you, Temi. It was so good to talk
Thank
to you.
you.
Thank you, everyone who joined. And I hope you guys like enjoyed this. And this video is going to be saved, so you'll be able to see everything we talked about over the last little bit on our page. And stay safe, everyone. Bye.
Bye.